welcome to Clearview Television. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First Lady Aisha Buhari endorses calls for the execution of Abdulmalik Tanko, proprietor and murderer of Little Hanifa, as angry youth set school ablaze. Organized Labour intensifies consultations ahead of its Thursday mega rallies against proposed removal of petroleum product subsidy. Burkina Faso President Roch Kabore detained at a military camp by mutinying soldiers following a coup. I am Prudence Okona with details of these and more stories. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari has endorsed the call for the execution of Abdulmalik Tanko, proprietor of Noble Kids Academy in Kawaji, Nasarawa local government. Tanko, proprietor of the school, has confessed to killing the innocent child with rat poison. He had dismembered and buried her secretly at one of the branches of the school. The victim was kidnapped in December and killed shortly after, though her abductors had demanded a 6 million naira ransom. It was while trying to get part of the ransom that the proprietor of the school was nabbed by security forces. There has been widespread outrage over the killing, with justice for Hanifa trending on social media for days. In a video which has now gone viral, Malam Abdallah Gando Kaya, a Kano-based cleric, asked that Tanko be killed the same way he killed Hanifa. He said the proprietor should be executed publicly, adding that President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Abdullahi Ganduje can get this done. The First Lady had reposted the video on her Instagram page expressing support for the cleric's call. Meanwhile, angry youths have stormed and set ablaze Noble Kids Academy, situated at Kwanar Dagata, Kano State, where late Hanifa Abubakar, a 5-year-old, was kidnapped, killed, and buried by her proprietor, Abdulmalik Tanko. It was gathered that the youths mobilized themselves and launched an attack on the building in the wee hours of Monday. Recall that the youths had some days ago, after the ugly incident, attempted to burn down the school, but were prevented by security agents deployed to forestall the breakdown of law and order in the area. Efforts to get the spokesman of the Kano State Police Command SP, Abdullahi Haruna, to react to the development proved abortive. And school principals in Kwara State have been warned to desist from imposing the wearing of the hijab or beret on any student. The Kwara State government handed down the warning via a statement issued on Sunday by the State Teaching Service Commission in Ilorin. Chairman of the commission, Bello Abubakar, had during the meeting reaffirmed the determination of the state government to promote religious tolerance among teachers and students and enhance peaceful coexistence. The meeting was held with the aim of resolving the crisis over hijab, which erupted recently at Oyun Baptist Grammar School, Ijagbo, Oyun local government area of Kwara State, while warning that the present administration would not tolerate religious bigotry, enjoined all to shun religious sentiments and respect the rights of individuals. Bello reminded the gathering that Kwara State is a state of harmony and advised everyone to remain good ambassadors for the coming generation. The warning came on the heels of fresh controversy on the wearing of hijab in some Christian schools, Onyu Baptist High School, Ijagbo, and St. Clair's Girls Secondary School, Ofa in Onyu, and Ofa local government areas. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB this Monday announced February 12, 2022 as the date for the commencement of registration for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME and the Direct Entry Examination. This was made known via the board's weekly bulletin released by its Director of Public Relations, Dr. Fabian Benjamin. In the timeline of events attached to the bulletin, the board announced that the UTME and deregistration starts February 12, 2022 and ends 19th March 2022. Mock examination holds on 20th April 2022. UTME holds from 20th to 30th April 2022. The organized labor has intensified consultations ahead of its Thursday nationwide rallies against the proposed removal of petroleum product subsidy. Its Deputy President Joe Ajero said letters had been sent to heads of the over 50 affiliates and state councils of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), asking them to host strategic meetings on how to make the rally successful. He also said leaders of civil society organizations in support of protests had been briefed on the activities. But the federal government last night faulted the planned rallies because it was yet to take a final decision on subsidy. The National Economic Council (NEC), chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, had recommended an increase in the pump price of fuel from 162 naira 50 kobo to 302 naira per litre. The recommendation followed the report to the NEC and ad hoc committee interfacing with the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation on the appropriate pricing of petroleum products in the country. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule had, after Wednesday's NEC meeting in Abuja, announced that the federal government would stop petroleum product subsidy payments in June 2022. Sule clarified that governors who are members of NEC have no role to play in determining the price of petroleum products. He added that with the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) in place, the decision on the new price regime belonged to the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Nigeria's anti-drug body, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), says it had in the year 2021 made a seizure of more than 3.4 million kilograms of assorted illicit drugs, arrested 12,306 suspects, including 7 drug barons, and secured the conviction of 1,400 of them, while the prosecution of 1,502 cases are pending in court. Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa gave the cheering news this Monday in Abuja while briefing newsmen to mark his 1 year in office as the chairman and chief executive officer of the anti-drug agency. Clearview TV's Simeon Okon was there and now reports.
On the occasion of his 1 year in office as chairman, chief executive officer, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa said he met NDLEA in a state of neglect, which led to loss of efficiency and public confidence in the agency. To reposition the agency for efficient and effective performance, the NDLEA boss said the agency has been strengthened to function in line with the contemporary drug situations.
We created new directorates: Directorate of Planning, Research and Statistics. We created that. Directorate of Media and Advocacy. Directorate of Special Duties and Strike Force. The Directorate of Airport Operations. Directorate of Forensics and Chemical Examination. We also created 14 zonal commands. The zonal commands are a group of state commands under the zonal command. We created the Office of the Provost Marshal to maintain internal discipline. We unbundled Directorate of Admin and Finance into Admin and Establishment 1, and secondly, Finance and Accounts. We also established a voluntary advisory body.
Brigadier General Marawa also added that the NDLEA achievement in 2021 surpassed the records of the past 30 years of its existence in terms of drug reduction cases.
We've seized drugs and cash worth over 130 billion. We've destroyed 406 hectares of cannabis farms. We've counseled and rehabilitated 7,761 drug users in our facilities. In December last year alone, over 34 tons of cannabis smuggled from Ghana were intercepted at the Eco Atlantic City Beach, while more than 8 million capsules and tablets of tramadol were seized in Lagos a week before Christmas. Just last week, about 1.5 million capsules of the same drug loaded in Onitsha, Anambra State, heading to Kebbi and Kano, were also intercepted by our men in Edo State. At the airports, we have recorded a series of interceptions and seizures of cocaine and heroin, but Murtala Mohammed International Airport remains the epicenter of the spectacular seizures, including what stands today as the biggest single seizure from an individual in 15 years.
The NDLEA chairman, who is a former military administrator of Lagos State, is confident that the agency will continue to push for the attainment of organizational goals in fulfillment of its core mandate of securing Nigeria against the drug scourge and ensuring a drug-free nation. Imefon Okon, reporting for Clearview Television.
You're watching Clearview Television News. More stories to come after this break.
Listen to this truth. We are growing by the day, and our viewership keeps growing on our different platforms. We are inviting you to advertise your goods and services with us at incredibly low rates. And do you have news for us? Script or video? Please contact us through our email address, clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com, or WhatsApp line 080-650-30-300. Again, 080-650-30-300. Welcome on board.
You're welcome back. Ahead of the governorship primary of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in EKITI State, scheduled for this Wednesday, there appears to be no end to the crisis arising from the conduct of the party's state congress, where delegates to participate in the primary election emerged. The contending interest groups, led by some of the governorship aspirants, are protesting what they described as non-compliance with the processes for the election of delegates to the party primary, alleging a hijacking of the new party structure by the former governor of the state, AISHA.
Some of the aggrieved members travel all the way from EKITI to Abuja, headquarters of the PDP. They came to stage a 4-day protest over what they described as the high-handedness of the former governor of the state, Ayodele Fayose.
If the National Working Committee did not do the needful, they will lose EKITI.
In 177 wards, no election was conducted. Governor Fayose hijacked all the material and took it to his personal hotel and wrote all the results.
We don't want cheating, because whatever is happening here, whatever Fayose does and is doing and will do, which is a fake report from the INEC, fake report from the police, and all fake about him, then definitely there's something that we will be going nowhere, and we can no longer take it. We are tired of suffering in Ekiti State.
They want the panel to annul the 3 delegates per ward ad hoc congress held in the 177 wards in Ekiti on Saturday, 15, 2022. According to them, the exercise was marred by irregularities and violence.
We have someone amongst us who just does not want to allow the process to flow. He wants to be in charge of every process. But you see, some of us don't fight, but we are quiet, silent fighters. It cannot work for one person to hold on to the party and hold on to the governorship.
I wouldn't say who connived with who,
But what I know is that no election took place.
When electoral officers were sent to go and conduct congresses, the 3 adult delegate congress in the various local governments, and many of them ended up staying back in Nado and writing names, right? And these names were alleged to have been orchestrated by the former governor, Ayo Fayoshe. It's quite unfortunate.
Governorship aspirants from the Fayoshe group, Honorable Bisikola Wole and Honorable Deji Ogunshaki, dismissed the claims, saying the election was held peacefully.
The Congress was duly done. I was in my local government, and we did everything, and the evidences are there. So I'm here to back the position of the INEC and the security agencies, that is the police. They have attested to it. They visited all the wards, and they knew what transpired, and I think they have submitted that to the party.
PDP is the strongest party in Ekiti State. The moment you are running on the platform of PDP, you know you are very close to winning. So right now, everybody is fighting for the soul of the party. Everybody wants to get the ticket of the party. So whatever is happening right now is not unusual. Once you have, I mean, it happened in 2014, there was gang up against Gunfire that time. It was even tougher than this one. It happened in 2018. They equally ganged up against Professor Kolabo. It's happening now. So it's not unusual.
Speaking on behalf of the PDP national executives, Honorable Depo Ologwangba, the National Publicity Secretary, explained that the appeal panel set up by the NWC to investigate and interrogate all stakeholders involved at the Congress will soon come up with its report.
We will get a report, and the party will consider the reports from the committee itself, and then consider all the issues raised in the complaints and petitions, as well as the report of the panel, of the appeal. And thereafter we'll take a decision. So right now, there's no position until we've gone through all the processes I just enumerated.
Worried by the ongoing wrangling within the party and the implication on the fortunes of the party, some of the governorship aspirants, after presenting their evidences before the appeal panel, urged members of the panel to be fair.
No, we have presented our positions before the appeal panel, and I think all grey areas, we have pointed them out to them, and I think they will do justice to that.
We went there to present our petition. It is when they have taken a decision that we can know the outcome. All we can do is present our own facts. Other people will present theirs, yes.
The party needs to take a decision, a very firm decision. It's not about me. It's not about other aspirants. It's about the party. We must deliver the party.
As the party prepares for its primary on Wednesday, 26 January 2022, it is hoped that the EKITI PDP gladiators will heed the plea of their aggrieved members to work together as a team to achieve victory come June 2022.
And up next, we bring you stories from our entertainment scene with Mercy Eke.
Hello and welcome to our entertainment segment where we get to bring you juicy stories of the entertainment industry. I am Mercy Eke. Happy beautiful new week, my people. Asiwaju Lanre Gentry, the ex-husband to Mercy Aigbe, has taken to the social media to shed the Nollywood actress and her new man, Kazeem Adetu. The actress had set social media abuzz on Sunday, January 23rd, after sharing a photo of herself with her boo, Kazeem Adetu, wishing him a happy birthday in advance. Okay, the news was received with mixed reactions from her followers as some called her out for marrying Adeoti, who already has a wife, while others spotted her, stating that Adeoti is a Muslim and as such can marry more than one wife. Ahead of Valentine's Day, singer Peter Okoye has advised African men and women to gift their partner more tangible gifts other than flowers, boxers, and singlets. In his own words, he said, "My dear African women, please normalize gifting men cars and houses other than boxers and singlets. Valentine is almost here." And to the men, he said, "My dear African men, please normalize gifting women wigs, rather than flowers. Abio, I beg. We are Africans, and besides, I'm in need of big pleats. And Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo and her daughter Priscilla teamed up recently for a photo shoot session that was nothing short of hot. The mother and daughter, who over time have always thrilled their followers with stunning photos of themselves, set major hotness in the recent photos that they had together. Rocking leather jackets, skimpy tops, and low sole shoes, the two could easily pass for sisters in the photos, which was shared on their Instagram page on Sunday evening. Now, wow, mother and daughter, not be small cruising this. And iconic French designer Thierry Mugler has died at the age of 73. May his soul rest in peace. His team, via his Instagram page, disclosed the designer passed away on Sunday, January 23rd. Although the cause of his death was not stated, Mugler made his name in the fashion industry throughout the 1980s and early 90s, with his designer being showcased in many different places, from the runway to stage shows. And Mugler dressed a wide range of stars across the entertainment and music world, including Kim Kardashian, Lady Gaga, George Michael, David Bowie, Beyonce, Rihanna, and many more of them. And that'll be all for now. Don't forget, I am Mercy Eke. Thank you. And over to you, Prudence.
Thank you, Mercy Eke. And on the foreign scene, West African diplomat and 4 security sources reported on Monday that Burkina Faso President Roch Kabore has been detained at a military camp by mutineering soldiers. Kabore's detention came after sustained gunfire rang out from military camps on Sunday night in the capital, Ouagadougou, with soldiers demanding more support for their fight against Islamist militants. The government had denied that the army had seized power. Kabore's exact whereabouts or situation were unknown this Monday morning, with conflicting reports circulating among security and diplomatic sources. Several armored vehicles of the presidential fleet riddled with bullets could be seen near the president's residence. One was spattered with blood. Residents of the president's neighborhood reported heavy gunfire overnight. 3 armored vehicles and soldiers wearing balaclavas were stationed outside the headquarters of the state broadcaster. Government sources could not immediately be reached. Kabore has faced waves of street protests in recent months as frustration has mounted over the frequent killing of civilians and soldiers by militants, some of whom have links to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. The sanctions imposed on Mali by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, are not going down well with the Malians resident in Nigeria. They had, in a protest march to the Mali embassy in Abuja, demanded the immediate lifting of the sanctions in order not to bring more sufferings to the people of Mali, armed with various inscriptions including "We are against ECOWAS sanctions," to the people of Mali, and the Malian community in Nigeria support the transition government in Mali. The protesters said the military junta should be given time to carry out a successful transition of power to civilians without arms twisting by the regional bloc.
In response to delays in holding promised elections after the 2020 military coup, the West Africa's main regional bloc, the Economic Community of West African States (ECOWAS), closed the borders of its member countries with Mali and imposed sweeping economic sanctions on the country. The ECOWAS took the decision at its extraordinary summit in Accra, Ghana. In a swift reaction, Mali's ruling junta strongly condemned the legal sanctions imposed on the country by ECOWAS and recalled its ambassadors to other West African nations involved. In what appears a public endorsement of military junta, Malian residents in Nigeria have staged a protest to their home country's embassy in Abuja, demanding that ECOWAS lift the sanctions, given the economic disruptions caused by the COVID-19 lockdown that has impacted negatively on all economies across the world. Chairman of the Mali community in Nigeria, Kamisu Kosika, says the sufferings caused by the ECOWAS sanctions are too severe for the people of Mali and should be lifted without further delay.
We don't have any country to go than Mali. That's the reason we are here to defend our country. Mali have the long history in the Africa. But that's why I say we Africans, we have to stand. We Malians, we have to stand to defend our country.
Receiving the protesters, the Malian ambassador in Nigeria, Mustafa Traore, who aligned with the protesters, said the sanctions lacked a human face and urged ECOWAS leaders to do the needful by lifting the sanctions.
Mali does not need sanctions right now. What Mali needs is a support from the ECOWAS community, from each and all member states of ECOWAS. And the other message is that Mali will stand against all sanctions. They felt the need to come forward to the embassy and say no to the sanctions that ECOWAS has imposed on Mali. And they are just urging ECOWAS to lift these sanctions immediately.
The 15-member ECOWAS had agreed to impose sanctions with immediate effect. The sanctions include the closure of members' land and air borders with Mali, the suspension of non-essential financial transactions, and the freezing of Malian states' assets in ECOWAS commercial banks and by the central banks of the 8-nation West African CFA franc zone. ECOWAS members insist that the sanctions will not be lifted until Mali's junta decides to comply with their initial commitment of handing over power to a civilian elected government in 2022 and not in 2025, which is the new date set by the junta.
That'll be all, but before we go, a look at our top stories. Tension in Kano State as irate youths burned down Noble Kids Academy in Kawaji, Nasarawa local government area of Kano State following the killing of little Hanifa. Nigeria's First Lady AISHA BUHARI endorsed calls for the execution of the proprietor and culprit, Abdulmalik Tanko. The organized labor has intensified consultations ahead of its Thursday nationwide rallies against the proposed removal of petroleum product subsidy. Its Deputy President Joe Ajero said letters had been sent to heads of the over 50 affiliates and state councils of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, asking them to host strategic meetings on how to make the rallies successful. We also told you that Burkina Faso President KABORE has been detained at a military camp by mutinying soldiers. Kabore's exact situation is unknown this Monday morning, with conflicting reports circulating among security and diplomatic sources. Several armored vehicles of the presidential fleet riddled with bullets could be seen near the president's residence. Remember to like us on Facebook at Clearview Television, follow us on Twitter, it's Clearview Online, follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. Also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Clearview TV. I am Prudence Okona. Many thanks for joining us.